Am I the a-hole for making my boyfriend's mom cry because of a petty rule? So I, a 24-year-old female, and my boyfriend, 27-year-old male, have been together for almost 2 years and live together. His mom is very involved in his life. Some might say overbearing, but I try to be respectful. She's nice, but has this way of pushing boundaries while acting like she means well. So the issue, I have a no shoes in the house rule. My BF is cool with it. All my friends do it with no problem. But his mom refuses. She claims it's rude to ask guests to take their shoes off and that it makes her feel disrespected. I've tried explaining that it's just a cleanliness thing, but she won't budge. Last weekend she came over and, surprise, surprise, walked in with her shoes on. I very politely, I swear, said, "Oh, can you take them off, please?" She kinda huffs and is like, "You're really gonna make me do this?" And I just stood there waiting. She sighs dramatically, takes them off, and spends the whole visit sulking. Then later I got a text from my boyfriend's dad saying I made her cry and she felt like I was trying to assert dominance over her in her son's home. Our home, actually. My boyfriend is on my side, but now his parents are acting like I've disrespected the Queen of England. Am I the a-hole for standing my ground on a very normal rule? Am I the a-hole for telling my roommate that my cat isn't hers? So I, a 22-year-old female, have this one roommate, 20-year-old female, that I've kinda always had issues with. She and I don't click, and I don't mind that because it happens. But last night I kinda got after her because I got tired of her treating my cat like she is hers. I'm not sure if it's important, but my cat is my ESA, and I don't care that much if my roommates play with her. She's still 5 months old and needs quite a bit of playtime. I had set some ground rules though. She's in my room, so I told my roommates that I don't care if they take her out, just message me or let me know. The other rule is that if they take her out, they have to leave the door open so she can get to her litter box, food, water, etc. My room is also her space to go when she feels overwhelmed. This one roommate thought has taken her up to her room and closed the door to her room and my room a couple of times and didn't tell me. So every time I'm searching for her, freaking out a little that she got out. I've told this roommate a couple of times to let me know and keep the doors open. She also will have friends over and introduce the cat as, "This is my sweet girl," even if I'm sitting there. Anyway, last night I got fed up with it because at 1 a.m. I wanted to go to bed and I couldn't find my cat anywhere, so I started shaking the treat box. I could hear jingling upstairs, so I looked up the stairs and I watched this roommate chuck my cat out her door. So I marched up there and confronted her. I did raise my voice a bit, but I'm pretty fed up with her. Now she's been calling me petty and childish, telling the other roommates I won't let her see my cat because I hate her. Which is not true. I didn't say she couldn't see the cat, I just told her she needs to listen to the rules and stop treating my cat like it's hers. She's also been avoiding me telling the other roommates I screamed at her for no reason and that she's worried about continuing to live with me if I can't control my emotions around her. This situation isn't the only thing she's done, but I'm wondering if I am the a-hole and if I should have handled it differently. Am I the a-hole for kicking my sister's boyfriend out because he wasn't contributing? I lived with my sister for years, and at some point, she invited her boyfriend to move in with us because he didn't have enough money for a place of his own. She saw it as normal since we had the resources, but I wasn't comfortable with the situation. Over time, problems started arising, and I felt like this arrangement wasn't working. He wasn't contributing financially, and I felt it wasn't fair for me to keep supporting him indirectly. So, after a lot of arguments, I decided to ask him to leave. However, my sister kept insisting on bringing him back. Even after he moved out and found a job, he still didn't rent a place of his own. Instead, they kept bouncing between different places until she got tired and tried to convince me to let him move back in again. Now, they're planning to get married in 3 months, but he still hasn't secured his own place. I can't help but feel like he's waiting for her to rent a home so they can split the cost. or that he expects her to support him the way she did before. I made my decision a year ago because I wanted to set a boundary and push him to be more independent. But seeing how things have played out, I'm questioning the decision I made. Am I the a-hole for kicking him out? Am I the a-hole for hurting my friend's feelings by criticizing her shoplifting? I, a 27-year-old male, have a friend, a 23-year-old female who lives in California. She frequently shoplifts from major retailers, justifying that she can get away with it both because of the state's questionable theft laws and for the fact she's less likely to be profiled on account of being a white woman. Most of our arguments have been made for several hour-long back and forths, often to no avail. Recently, my friend met another woman who she intended to be in a relationship with. This woman checked off a lot of boxes, and I could tell my friend was particularly excited. However, when my friend's crush learned that she was a shoplifter, she broke off contact because she didn't want to be exposed to a bad influence. My friend returned to me, complaining about this falling out and how upset she was over it. After I asked her to explain the reason and she did, I told her that most people don't support stealing, especially because she's not exactly stealing to survive. She mostly pilfers books, makeup, and other recreational products that she does not want to pay for with her full-time jobs. I then asked friend if there might be something to learn from this, to which she replied, "Keep things to myself and lie more." When I told her that might not have been the right message, she said, she doesn't know why she tells me things. Considering that friend is Christian and constantly argues against sinful behavior, such as premarital sex, it's extremely frustrating to me that she can't seem to grasp why stealing is wrong. Am I wrong to have brought it up when she complained about her failed crush, and should I have been more supportive? Or is she simply refusing to learn a basic lesson about morality and social contracts? Am I the a-hole for asking my boyfriend to clean his poop stains out of the toilet immediately instead of waiting until he gets home? I, 23-year-old female, and my boyfriend, 23-year-old male, have been together for 7 years and live in a one-bedroom, one-bathroom apartment. I handle most of the household chores, dishes, laundry, and general cleaning, but the one thing I ask him to do is clean the toilet when he leaves stains after using it. Almost every morning, I wake up to find marks in the toilet from his poop. Since we only have one bathroom, I have to see it first thing when I go to use the restroom. I've asked him repeatedly to take a moment to clean it before he leaves for work, but he usually forgets or says he'll do it later. When I bring it up, he says he'll clean it when he gets home about 8 hours later. I don't feel like I should have to leave it sitting there all day and use the bathroom over it like a porta potty in my own home. To me, it seems like a basic expectation to clean up after yourself, especially when I take care of most of the other housework. He thinks I'm overreacting and that I should just wait for him to do it when he gets home. Am I the a-hole for expecting him to clean up immediately rather than waiting until later? Like and subscribe for more content from Reddit Stories.